Hello everyone, welcome to the episode that deals with the rules of grammar and sentence construction. In the last episode, we talked about the adjectives, their types and uses. In this episode, we will talk about another very important rule of grammar, the adverb. To make the learners understand the topic scrupulously, we will discuss the meaning, types, uses, position and significance of the adverbs comprehensively. I am Sakshi Mandwal and our subject expert for today's topic is Ms. Sabha Tariq, lecturer for English at Jamia Hamdard University. After watching this episode, the student will be able to understand accurate meaning and importance of adverbs, to understand the position of adverbs in sentences, to use the right adverbs at the right place, to expand and improve the skills of speaking and writing English correctly. Language is very important for human beings. It is used as a tool of communication and interaction by members of society with one to another to accomplish the purpose of getting and giving information, expressing their ideas and doing other activities. Learning a language means how to communicate in that language to convey information to someone, message to somebody else from either speaker or writer to listeners or readers. So, if someone wants to study a language, he should not be passive. He is supposed to be active because the most important in learning a language is to be able to communicate with others in that language. English has become an international language because many countries use English as their second language. So, it has become just inevitable to know English and to learn it properly. We can perceive that today USA has become the center of civilization. They have succeeded to dominate politics, economy, culture and entertainment in the world. We should also realize that English is the most necessary language to be mastered because communication and business, both in today's world, are done through the medium of English. In the field of education too, most of the books and articles in the world of literature are available in English only. Thus, to make pace with the contemporary world, we should start learning concepts and grammar of English language properly as soon as possible. In order to make the students of mass media learn English accurately, the syllabus contains the rules of grammar of English language as a part of the course. In the last episodes, we have talked about tenses, paragraphing and adjectives. Let us proceed with another rule of grammar, the adverb. An adverb is a word which adds to the meaning of verb and tells us how a thing is done, when it is done or where it is done. We can also say that adverbs is a word or phrase that modifies the meaning of an adjective, verb or other adverb of a sentence. Example, gently, very, fortunately. For example, he walks slowly. That was a good movie. He walks very slowly. In the first sentence above, slowly modifies the verb walks. In the second sentence, very modifies the adjective good. In the second sentence, very modifies the adverb slowly. Besides, in the first sentence, slowly shows the manner in which he walks. So, slowly is an adverb of manner. In the second sentence, very shows in which degree the movie was good. So, very is an adverb of degree. In the third sentence, very shows to what extent he walks. So, very is an adverb of degree. An adverb can modify a whole sentence. In this case, it stands at the beginning of a sentence. Luckily, he got through the examination. Up goes the balloon. Away went the car. Unfortunately, he could not escape the attack. Clearly, the answer is wrong. Mary sings sweetly. Ashok came yesterday. The sun shines everywhere. There are some more examples of how adverbs can modify verbs, adjectives, other adverbs, prepositions and entire clauses. He walked, verb, aimlessly, adverb. That sounded like an extremely, adverb, interesting, adjective plan. The cyclist pedaled very, adverb, swiftly, adverb. The parrots flew right, adverb, over, preposition, the house. Apparently, adverb, they had already left for Berlin, clause. An adverb is a word that has any jobs. One of its job is to describe how an action is done. Let's look at the examples. The man got in the car. However, we must ask, how did the man get in the car? Did he get in the car slowly, quickly, cowardly, ferociously, bravely, widely, rowdily, quietly, loudly, brazenly, boldly, or shamelessly? By answering how the man got in the car, you describe the situation to your readers. The readers can now visualize and understand the scene more clearly. In turn, your readers will find your writing much more interesting. Take another look at the adverbs listed in the paragraph. What did you notice? They all end in ly. Actually, not all adverbs end in ly, and not all ly words are adverbs. However, many adverbs do end in ly. Let's add adverbs to our sentences. The man quickly got in the car. He peacefully drove his car to the old house. He happily walked up to the door and swiftly knocked on it. The door opened immediately. Was he a friend or foe? Enemy. A friend, of course. The word that tells us that he is probably a friend are the adverbs. Quickly, peacefully, happily, swiftly, and immediately. It is the second and third adverbs that tell us this man is most likely a friend. Now let's change the adverbs. The man angrily got in the car. He frantically drove his car to the old house. He ferociously walked up to the door and loudly knocked on it. The door opened violently. Was he a friend or foe? He is most likely a foe. Again, it was the adverbs that told us so. As you can see, adding adverbs is extremely important. It tells the reader a lot about what you are writing about. Remember this rule. A good writer is like an artist. He or she paints a picture in the reader's mind using words. How do you make an adverb? One of the best ways to form adverbs is to add ly to the end of an adjective. Strange, strangely. Calm, calmly. Usual, usually. Rapid, rapidly. Awkward, awkwardly. Sad, sadly. Strict, strictly. Violent, violently. Angry, angrily. Suspicious, suspiciously. However, not all ly words are adverbs and not all adverbs have ly at the end. For example, hard means difficult. Hardly is not the adverb of hard. Hardly means very little. Therefore, I worked hard and I hardly worked are opposites. The first sentence means that you worked a lot, whereas the second sentence means you worked only little. Other exceptions. Fast is an adjective. Quickly is an adverb. Good, an adjective. Well, adverb. Far, adjective. Far, adverb. Little, adjective. Little, adverb. Many, adjective. Much, adjective. Much is an adverb. There are several types of adverbs which are as follows. Adverbs of time, adverbs of frequency, adverbs of place, adverbs of manner, adverbs of degree, adverbs of affirmation, negation and doubt, adverbs of reason, interrogative adverbs, sentence adverbs, adverbs of comment, adverbs of conjunction. Let us try to understand all these types of adverbs in detail. Look at these examples of adverbs of time over here. She came here yesterday. They will be doing it now. He has not been keeping good health lately. He has reached there already. He has done it before. He did the work late. He came back a year ago. She is likely to come soon. They are going to Chennai shortly. These answer the question when. This adverb usually comes either at the very beginning of the sentence or at the end. Afterwards, we decided to go by car. I have done that journey before. Note, yet and still. Yet should be placed at the end of the sentence. Still should be placed before the verb, except with the verb to be when it comes after. We haven't started yet. He still wears old-fashioned clothes. He is still a student. Compare these two sentences. The train still hasn't arrived. The train hasn't arrived yet. Adverbs of frequency provide information on how often something happens. For example, they usually get to work at 8 o'clock. These answer the question how many times. For example, they have done it once. He often came here. She visited the city again. The electricity goes frequently. I go to school daily. This adverb comes after the verb to be. She is always honest. It can come before simple tenses of all other verbs. They sometimes spend the whole of Saturday fishing. It comes after the first auxiliary in a tense consisting of more than one verb. I have often wondered how they did that. I can sometimes go without food for days. Note, with used to and have, the frequency adverb is usually placed in front. We always used to look forward to the school holidays. He never has any trouble with his old car. Adverbs of place tell us where something happens. They are usually placed after the main verb or after the object. Examples after the main verb. I looked everywhere. John looked away, up, down, around. I am going home, out, back. Come in after the object. They built a house nearby. She took the child outside. Common adverbs of place. Here and there. With verbs of movement, here means towards or with the speaker. Come here, towards me. It's in here. Come with me to see it. There means away or not with the speaker. Put it there, away from me. It's in there. Go by yourself to see it. Here and there are combined with prepositions to make many common adverbial phrases. Over here, over there, under there, up there. Here and there are placed at the beginning of the sentence in exclamations or when emphasis is needed. They are followed by the verb if the subject is a noun. Here comes the bus, followed by the verb, or by a pronoun if this is the subject, it, she, he, etc. Here it is, followed by the pronoun. There she goes, followed by the pronoun. Note, most common adverbs of place also function as prepositions. Examples are about, across, along, around, behind, by, down, in, off, on, over, round, through, under, up. Go to prepositions of phrasal verbs. Other adverbs of place ending in words, expressing movement in a particular direction. Backwards, forwards, downwards, upwards, inwards, outwards, northwards, southwards, eastwards, westwards, homewards, onwards. Examples. Cats don't usually walk backwards. The ship sailed westwards. Be careful. Towards is a preposition, not an adverb. So it is always followed by a noun or a pronoun. He walked towards the car. She ran towards me, expressing both movement and location. Ahead, abroad, overseas, uphill, downhill, sideways, indoors, outdoors. Examples are, the child went indoors. He lived and worked abroad. Adverbs of manner tell us how something happens. They are usually placed after the main verb or after the object. Examples are, he swims well, after the main verb. He ran rapidly, slowly, quickly. She spoke softly, loudly, aggressively. James coughed loudly to attract her attention. He plays the flute beautifully, after the object. He ate the chocolate cake greedily. Be careful again. The adverb should not be put between the verb and the object. Examples are, he ate greedily the chocolate cake. It's incorrect. He ate the chocolate cake greedily. Correct. Rule. If there is a preposition before the object, for example, at, towards, we can place the adverb either before the preposition or after the object. Examples are, the child ran happily towards his mother. The child ran towards his mother happily. Rule. Sometimes an adverb of manner is placed before a verb plus object to add emphasis. Examples are, he gently woke the sleeping woman. Examples. Some writers put an adverb of manner at the beginning of the sentence to catch our attention and make us curious. Slowly she picked up the knife. Rule. However, adverbs should always come after intransitive verbs, verbs which have no object. Examples. The town grew quickly. He waited patiently. Also, these common adverbs are almost always placed after the verb. Well, badly, hard, fast. Rule. The position of the adverb is important when there is more than one verb in a sentence. If the adverb is placed after a clause, then it modifies the whole action described by the clause. Notice the difference in meaning between this pair of sentences. She quickly agreed to retype the letter. Her agreement was quick. She agreed to retype the letter quickly. The retyping was quick. He quietly asked me to leave the house. His request was quiet. He asked me to leave the house quietly. The leaving was quiet. Adverbs of degree tell us the degree or extent to which something happens. They answer the question how much or to what degree. This adverb can modify an adverb or an adjective and comes before the word it modifies. The bottle is almost full, nearly empty. They should be able to pass their exams quite easily. The following adverbs of degree can also modify verbs: almost, nearly, quiet, hardly, scarcely, barely, just. They follow the same pattern as frequency adverbs in terms of where they are placed. I quite understand. We had almost reached the hut when the rain started. I am just beginning a new course. Inversion. If you begin a sentence with one of the following, the normal word order changes. The verb comes first, followed by the subject. Never, seldom, scarcely. When, no sooner, than, nowhere, in no circumstances, on no account, only then, not only. Seldom has 1 century seen so many changes. No sooner did we hear the results than there was a knock at the door. Never would I be persuaded to buy a second-hand car. These adverbs show affirmation, negation and doubt. For example, a friend in need is a friend indeed. He will certainly attend the meeting. Surely he will come. He does not like her. Some other such adverbs are yes, perhaps, scarcely, possibly, by all means, likely, etc. Interrogative adverbs are used for asking questions, are called interrogative adverbs. For example, when will you finish your work? Where are you going? These adverbs show reason. For example, all the members of the team were exhausted and hence they got defeated. He was not in a mood to stay inside. He therefore went out. The words in bold are showing the reason and thus they come in the category of adverbs of reason. These adverbs modify the whole sentence. Look at these examples. Interestingly, no one bothered to do anything in the matter. Alas, the whole thing is undone. The words in bold represent sentence adverbs as they can modify the whole sentence. These adverbs are used to make a comment on the entire sentence. They give a look at the speaker's viewpoint or opinion about the sentence. These adverbs don't just change or describe the verb, they influence the whole sentence. They found his secret easily, plus, unfortunately, they found his secret easily. Here we see that adding the adverb unfortunately has changed the entire tone of the sentence. Earlier it was a passive tone, now it has a negative or disappointed tone. Other examples of the adverbs are luckily, the dog did not bite the children. Happily, the par returned before the big match. Did he honestly expect me to lie for him? Adverb adds comment on the anger of the speaker. And they would win the World Cup, obviously. Can be said in a sarcastic as well as positive manner. These adverbs are used to connect ideas or clauses. They are used to show consequence or effect or the relation between the two clauses. To use these adverbs to conjugate two clauses, you need to use a semicolon to connect them. Clause 1. He was going for an important interview. Clause 2. He made sure he reached on time. He was going for an important interview. Accordingly, he made sure he reached on time. Here we see how the adverb accordingly is joining the two clauses and showing the relation between them with the use of a semicolon. Accordingly means therefore or that is why. A few other adverbs of conjunction are however, yet on the other hand, in spite of, consequently, as a result, resulting in. Moreover, beside, in addition. Conversely, opposite of, contrary to. Now the question is, where do we put them? That is somewhat easy. There are many exceptions in English grammar, but the best way to explain the rules about where to put the adverb is to follow the suggestions. First, if the verb you are modifying or describing is the last word in the sentence, put the adverb at the end of the sentence. For example, the sun rises. If you want to add the adverb slowly, look at the above sentence. The last word is rises. Therefore, put slowly at the end. The sun rises slowly. There are some verbs which, although at the end of the sentence, can still have an adverb in front of it. For example, the sun slowly rises. Some verbs only allow an adverb after it when the verb is at the end of the sentence, but others are best in front of the verb. Second, if the verb you are modifying or describing is not the last word in the sentence, put the adverb directly before the verb, at the end of the sentence, or at the end of the clause with the verb. For example, Rebecca leaves the house. If you want to add the adverb quickly, look at the sentence once again. The verb leaves is in the middle of the sentence. Hence, you have two ways of writing the sentence. Rebecca quickly leaves the house, or Rebecca leaves the house quickly. Number 1 is 3 positions and second is positions of adverbs of manner, place and time in one sentence. First, 3 positions of adverbs. 1. Front. Adverb, subject, verb. Gradually, he changed his mind. Second, mid. Subject, adverb, main verb. They always speak English. B. Subject, be adverb. We are almost ready. C. Subject, auxiliary adverb, main verb. I have never said that. She will probably join us. This can hardly be true. Note. With main verbs, the adverb comes before the verb. They always speak English. With be, it comes after the verb. We are almost ready. With auxiliaries and modals, it is placed after the auxiliary or modal, between the auxiliary or modal and the main verb. I have never said that. She will probably join us. This can hardly be true. If there are 2 auxiliaries or a modal and an auxiliary, the adverb is placed after the first verb. The experiment has always been done like this. They may never have used this method. Third, end. Subject, verb, adverb. He spoke about his plans at the meeting confidently. She has been attending the English class regularly. Frequency. Always, ever, hardly, ever, never, often, rarely, seldom. Degree. Almost, hardly, nearly, quite, scarcely. Probability. Certainly, definitely, probably, time, just. He has never attended an international conference. I quite understand what you mean. He is probably back. Frequency or time. Sometimes, usually, eventually, finally. I sometimes work till late at night. Sometimes, I work till late at night. Frequency. Constantly, continuously, regularly. Degree. Completely, entirely, greatly. Time. Already, lately, recently. The temperature was constantly rising. The temperature was rising constantly. I completely agree with you. I agree with you completely. Place. Above, here, there, at home, upstairs. Time or frequency? In January, last year, as a rule, from time to time, once, probability maybe, perhaps. Manner before place, usually. He sat proudly on the throne. But away, back, down, forward, home, in, off, on, out, round and up are usually put in front of adverbials of manner. She turned back angrily. Time follows manner and place. The judge had a very busy day today. or occupies the initial position. Today the judge had a very busy day. Sentence adverbs: actually, apparently, certainly, clearly, obviously, probably, surely modifies the whole sentence or clause and express the speaker's opinion or attitude. She is obviously intelligent. They certainly deserve the sentence. Apparently, he was right. 1. The best way to determine if the adverb is too far away from the verb is to see if the verb is in the last clause or phrase of the sentence. This rule is not 100%. In addition, if the verb is more than 5 or 6 words from the end of the sentence, it is probably a good idea not to put the adverb at the end. When in doubt, just put the adverb in front of the verb. Second, if the grammar tense contains a form of the verb to be, put the adverb in front of the verb to be and not in front of the main verb. For example, the car has already been fixed. The main verb is fixed, but since this tense has been fixed, present perfect has a form of to be, been. The adverb already goes in front of been. Thus, in this episode, we talked about the meaning and importance of adverb, types of adverbs and various positions of adverb. We anticipate that after watching this episode, the students will be able to use adverbs properly. In the next episode, we will talk about another rule of grammar, the narration. That is all that we have for you for today. We hope you enjoyed the session. Till the next time, it's a goodbye and namaskar.